It's almost 8 p.m. on the 24th of July. Thought I'd take a quick little walk through the cottage garden. Gets nice and quiet this time in the evening. We've had very hot temperatures, so everything is just popping out. A lot of the phlox are seedlings. It's buttered popcorn daylily, which gets repeated throughout the garden. Tough stuff hydrangea, behind it is Bobo. I'm coming off the side deck as we move into the rest of the cottage garden. Get the long view with the 3 tutors in the arbor. Couple really nice big stands of phlox next to one of the pots I have in the garden. Plant Kufia in almost every pot, all around the property. And the hummingbirds just circle. They circle around the whole garden. This is a nice big rambunctious phlox. It's a seedling. I did not plant this, but boy is it beautiful. That one in particular will bloom for a long time. Some deutzias that are out of bloom. They were beautiful in the spring. The main recipe in the cottage garden is phlox, daylilies, daisies. Earlier in the season, there were some peonies, some epimediums. Later in the season, we have a lot of sedum, asters, have a couple sweet autumn clematis that frame the farmer's porch, and those are great. The honeybees will just swarm to that. Lots of phlox. Again, most of it is seedlings. In this bed, center bed coming into bloom, we'll be here in a few days. It was about 92 today. It's 95 for the next couple days. We've been having some really, really good heat up here in New Hampshire. So actually a lot of my late daylilies are blooming now with the mid-season daylilies. But in here is a ring of Allium millennium. And for about 5 years I had it in. It did not seed. But now it is seeding quite robustly, which is fine. I dig it up and give it away and let everybody know that they may get a lot of seedlings, as long as everyone's aware, because I believe it was touted as a fairly sterile plant. Last year I cut half of the seed heads off, and this year I think I might cut them all off. I'm not sure. There's a spirea that's out of bloom. There are rugosa roses on the other side of the fence that will come into their second bloom soon. Peonies in this bed with asters, some sedum, chrysanthemums. These asters, this is a purple dome that's seeded into my path. It was one, now it's three, now there's a fourth one over there. This is just the best stand of asters ever. So it's been in the path for about 5 years or more. I just can't bear to dig it out. This might be the year that I actually take it out of the pathway though. But it doesn't bother anybody because it's a dead end over here. Such a nice quiet time of day to walk around. Again, most of the phlox are seedlings. I like this one. I like a lot of them. But I thought this had some pretty cool color. The porch is filled with pots. Kufia in nearly every pot for the hummingbirds. You can be sitting here on the steps eating lunch, and the hummingbirds will come and join us. Always a pair of garden shoes on the front porch. I especially like this end of the cottage garden. I do like it all in different seasons, but this bobo and tough stuff have really added a lot to this end of the cottage garden where the bed is quite large compared to most of the beds in here. Quite deep, I should say. There's an enkianthus tucked in behind it. There's an andromeda behind the tough stuff. A bunch of phlox in there, of course. This is all chelone. Stakes work really well. It'll get taller, come into bloom later. Climbing up the side of the porch is a sweet autumn clematis. And that will be, I'll have to take a video when the bumblebees are all over it. This is a cutleaf vitex that I'm really, really excited about. It's really zone 6. It can be a cutback, a dieback shrub in zone 5. But it's forming a little tree, so I'll see how it does. I was kind of hoping for a cutback shrub because it's not exactly planted in a place where I could put a huge tree, and I have seen these fairly large. My brother-in-law has one. It's beautiful. He cuts it every once in a while back to the ground and comes back bigger than ever. One lonely oriental lily in the garden. I had the fence all lined with oriental and Asiatic lilies at one point, but the lily leaf beetle did me in, so I got rid of them all. Just do one more quick spin around at this end. Bobo puts on such a good show. I could not be happier with tough stuff right now. And the buttered popcorn daylily peeking behind it is a nice color as well. The dwarf Alberta spruce, really hides our way into the side patio. So it's a little peek around what's around the corner. There's a viburnum on the end here too. I hope you enjoyed the tour.